Syracuse men's basketball fell to Boston College 80-75. Bring in our sports reporter Nick Luttrell, who's now live on SU's campus. Nick, what a tough one for the Orange.
Yeah, Griffin, no doubt about it. Just when you felt like Syracuse had some momentum with that win on Saturday against NC State, it all comes crumbling to a halt with tonight's loss against Boston College. Syracuse's first loss against BC since 2018. But folks at home watching, don't change the channel yet. You have to understand that this team fought and clawed their way back into this one. They were down as many as 14 points in the second half, and we'll show you that comeback between Syracuse and Boston College. Inside Conti Forum, we skip to the end of the first quarter. Hop, skip, and a jump by J.J. Starling. He had 14 points to lead the Orange. A minute later, though, Claudell Harris Jr. fighting Devin McLaughlin, who slams it home for the Eagles. A run that continued in the second half, a 14-0 run. And here's a second half three-pointer. That run would just continue in the second half for the Eagles. But Syracuse, they say, not so fast. The Orange on a run of their own. Malik Brown, he was a star tonight. Back-to-back big-time buckets to cut the deficit to 2. But ultimately, it was one player in particular SU just could not contain. Claudell Harris Jr. off the bench for the Eagles had not one, not two, but 5 3-pointers, including this crafty layup inside for the Eagles. And that was enough to get his team the win 80-75. On the flip side, Syracuse falls to 14-7, 5-5 in the ACC. Coach Autry, your thoughts after the game?
You know, a lot of the mistakes were on us, you know, miscommunicating the one guy we talked about, Harris. You know, he made 5 threes. I thought that was the difference between the both games. We knew Post would play better. We knew, you know, McLaughlin was going to play well. He's been playing well. But the one guy that we wanted to really try to eliminate, and that was the difference in the game, they made 10 threes.
And as Coach Autry just mentioned, 3-pointers were the difference in tonight's game. BC shot 50% from beyond the arc. Syracuse only 35%.
All right, Nick, so this is the second time that Syracuse has played Boston College this season. A 10-point win in early January and then a 5-point loss tonight. What are the differences between those two Syracuse teams?
Well, Griffin, that's a good question. It's really hard to say because both of these games, and you would think the 3-pointers would be the biggest difference, and that's really what it's been this season for the Syracuse Orange. But when you look at the statistics between those two games, Syracuse actually shot worse from beyond the arc in their win a few weeks ago. So it's not the 3-pointers. I actually think it's converting off of turnovers. Tonight, they turned BC over the same amount of times, or close to the same amount of times that they turned them over a few weeks ago in early January. Converting off of turnovers is a huge deal for this Syracuse team. And Griffin, this defense is really good, and at their best, the defense is leading to offense. But when that doesn't happen, you get outcomes like you did tonight inside Conti Forum.
So now what does this team have to do, and what do they have to correct before Saturday's game at Wake Forest?
Well, obviously, Saturday's game will be a tough one. If they play like they did tonight, there's no shot that they're going to get the win against the Demon Deacons. And this Wake Forest team is a team that is 11-0 at home. They have 4 different players that are in the top 25 in scoring in the ACC. But back to your question, I feel like this is kind of cop-out answer, but Judah Mintz really has to be at his best. And Judah Mintz at his best, dribbling and driving to the lane, knocking down 3-pointers. When Judah Mintz decided to come back for Syracuse for his sophomore year, he knew that he would have to be the undetermined leader of this team. And yes, he's played good this season, but he needs to have a breakout game like he did in that LSU game in early November when he had 30-plus points. Syracuse needs Judah Mintz to have a game like that, because when Judah Mintz plays that good, this is a March Madness team. I really think so.
Nick Luttrell, as always, providing excellent insight on Syracuse athletics. Nick, thank you.